Hello and welcome into Talking Bengals. This has been a while, so we've had some time for this game to sink in on Thursday night, but we are still upset. I don't think there's any better way to say it. We're still sad. It was very disappointing. It's not the way we wanted that game to go. There's no reason that game should have gone that way, but this is a season of inexplicable, crazy, heartbreaking, gut-wrenching, terrible things happening. What the heck? We don't understand. But I'm joined by Josh and Nick. Burnsy may be able to jump on later. I know you guys are feeling the same way I am. Josh, how you doing?
Definitely feeling the same way you are. I mean, you would think at this point we would have gone through at least a couple of the stages of grief. I'm still at anger. I don't know when I'm going to get past it. We'll just see what happens on Sunday, I guess.
Yeah. Nick, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get into it. Who day?
Day indeed. Who do they think the Bengals are actually going to win a game? I don't know. We'll see. But cheers and jeers is how we recap our games, but I'm going to go ahead and put down a few things that we can all agree on before we get into that. Joe Burrow, 95% awesome. There was a little bit in there that you're like, WTF, but 95% awesome. Jamar Chase, awesome. 110%. There's no doubt about it. Jamar Chase should be mentioned as an MVP in the league. So should Joe Burrow. But right now, if you don't think Jamar Chase is the best receiver in football, you are crazy. We'll get more into that later. Also, Cam Taylor-Britt is a clown. Moving into cheers and jeers, so that way we're not just touching on the obvious things. Nick, I'll let you go first.
Cheers. Jamar Chase had 11 receptions for 264 yards, averaging 24 yards per catch with a long of 70 yards, which pretty close to his career high, and 3 total touchdowns. That is the cheer. The jeer is that Jamar Chase went for 264 yards, 3 touchdowns, and Joe Burrow threw for 428 yards, 4 touchdowns with a QBR of 116, and we lost.
Defies explanation. Like, it literally does. No, I can't make sense of it. No matter how much I try in my head, like, it just does not add up. 1, 2, I don't get it. Josh, your cheers and jeers.
Cheers. I mean, we could all go the same route. Jamar Chase, he had 20 less receiving yards, roughly, than Lamar Jackson had passing for the night. That's incredible. But Joe Burrow, he freaking beast. He always cool and collected. He knows exactly what he wants to do. Yeah, you can't be perfect every time, but there's one person that touches the ball every single time, and it's the quarterback. So you cannot expect perfection, but you can expect as much as what he gave you. That's all you can hope for. Wasn't enough because of my jeer being the offensive line. There were some very questionable decisions by them. How, one, with that late hit, how do you not go after that guy? That ball was long out of his hands. He gets pummeled, and you do nothing.
That's 2 weeks in a row. 2.
Yeah, that's an offensive line that you should just fire every single one of them right now. If your quarterback gets hit like that with a late hit, you go after him. I don't care if we take the 15-yard penalty. You let them know that you're not going to stand for that.
No. But it's extremely disappointing. I'm going to go ahead and just put it out there. And this may be a very unpopular opinion for what my cheer is, but the play calling. I thought that that's probably the best called game that Zach Taylor and Dan Pitcher put together all season. There's still some questionable ones in there, but they had the game in hand. They were doing really well, and Chase Brown fumbled. He's still a young player. He had a habit of fumbling in college. You probably don't want to – you can't crucify the guy. He's young. Crap happens, but that was the worst spot it could have happened in. But the game play calls were good, except for Joe Burrow's 5% questionable stuff. 3 deep balls, 2 on 3rd and short, 1 on 4th and short. 2 of those were back-to-back plays. And I said it in our group chat, and people may disagree. And if you do, sure, come at me. We'll talk about it. I'll have a private chat with you. I don't care. Joe Burrow called that 4th and 2. Or he didn't check out of that 4th and 2. He had too much pride. His hubris right there, ridiculous. You didn't need a touchdown. And it wasn't even close. Neither one of those plays were close. And people kept saying, oh, they had the matchup. And I know I'm rambling here, so my bad. But they had the matchup. But there was two guys there. One of them was Jermaine Burton. Why are you throwing it to Burton? I don't understand. Jamar Chase, throw him the ball as many times as you want to. I don't care. But my jeer is going to come down to the fact that the defense couldn't tackle a guy or push a guy out of bounds on an 86-yard touchdown that tied the ball game. Changed the entire face of the game. Chase Brown made a mistake. Lamar Jackson ran 50 yards to gain 10 yards. You know what? That crap happens. It happens. A bad time, a series of bad events. And then your offense kind of drove down, pinned them pretty deep with the punt. And then you just don't tackle. You don't pursue. And yes, I played at a very minor level at high school, and I wasn't good there. But you don't quit on the ball until the whistle blows. It blows my mind. It is beyond. There's no forgiveness for that. You couldn't bump a guy out of bounds, and it's not like he is their version of Jamar Chase. Their second, third wide receiver? He's okay. He's probably not in the top 100 wide receivers in the league. And you couldn't tackle him or bump him or anything. This defense is what lost the game. People may say, oh, the Chase Brown fumble. No. The fact that you gave up and you quit, it's the defense. And Bernsey has decided to grace us with his presence. Greetings, senor.
Awesome.
All right, so you're right into cheers and jeers. What you got?
Where did you all go so I don't go to the same?
I'll correct you if you're wrong. We'll make it fun. You just throw something out there and I'll say, if we've already touched on it.
All right.
So it's gonna be
Let's
the
see. My cheer, I'm going to go Joe, going 34-56, 220, or excuse me. Wow. 428 and 4 touchdowns. If I could read today, that'd be awesome.
Dyslexia is real, children.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
All right, so that was your cheer. What's your jeer?
Well, I'm sure you guys already talked about defense, so I'm going to go that we only had 15 designed rushing plays for the entire game. Because
14.
I liked it. It was 15. It was 16 total.
Joe Burrow running the ball does not count.
If it's a draw play, it
Light
does.
does not count.
If
It
it's a
shouldn't
draw
count.
play,
Was it a draw play or was it, oh, crap?
It was no crap. It was no crap. We had 14 designed running plays. 14. 14. Bernsey, 14. Even if it's 15, who cares? 15. We passed the
42
ball
yards.
56. We passed the ball 56 times. We
They
did
were
not control time
efficient.
of possession. We did not control time of possession. We did not control the ball. We didn't control any part of that game. And
Not
that's
in
the
the
reason why
second
we
half.
lost.
Not in the second half. First half, we were cruising, man. Life
Quarter
was
and a
good.
half. For a quarter and a half, we controlled the ball. That's it. But that's not going to win a ball game. Not in the NFL.
So, more notes on that. We abandoned the run after the fumble. Chase Brown had 71 snaps to 3, 41 to 1 in the first half, 59 snaps on the Sunday prior, and he rushed for 27 of those 59 snaps. Prior to Zach Moss getting injured, the snap count was about 50-50, depending on the game. And then, Zach Taylor's beloved Trevion Williams. You mean to tell me that we kept him on the team for the last 5 or 6 years and he can't take 20 of those snaps off of Chase Brown?
Come on now. Why? Why are you going to bring up Trevion? He's banned from
It's
this
part of my
show.
notes. It's part of my notes. It's part of my argument that I made in our little side chat. So you told me to address it, so here I am addressing it.
Travion Williams, that freaking guy. But hey, his name is escaping me at the moment. But don't worry, kids. We did sign a running back this week. Sounds more like an insurance agent. I don't know what his name is off the top of my head. I just forgot. It's literally escaping me. Phoning a friend. Somebody tell me his name.
Guy that's only rushed for 133 yards in one season, so in 13 games.
It's okay. We're bolstering our running back crew by signing him to the practice squad.
Let me go see Lance's post because he was super excited about it.
Yeah, because
To the practice squad.
Yeah. Anyways, he's such a great guy. None of us can remember his name off the top of our head because it sounds like we're calling in a car accident. So we're just going to skip him for now and come back to him when all of our brains start working again. This is what happens when you have day jobs and record a podcast. Burnsy, you got it?
Almost. And nope, that's not it. Hold on.
Brightwell.
He's got other Cincy stuff. Oh, here he is. Gary Brightwell.
Yeah,
I found it in like 2 seconds. You don't see him on a billboard saying State Farm, you're crazy. Gary Brightwell. Trusted insurance agent. Whatever else you want to throw in. I don't know. He does nothing for me. It is to sell insurance or be an accountant or a lawyer. Something. I mean, it's not a bad name. I'm not trying to pick on the guy, but his NFL career, it's not like he's a rookie and you're like, maybe we can roll the dice. He's been around for like 4 years. You probably didn't want to sign him.
We signed another Travion Williams.
We already have a Travion Williams. Why do we need another Travion? We don't need 2 Travion Williams.
We got 2 now. Casey, we got 2 now. We'll be good. We're bolstering our running back crew by signing another Travion Williams.
Oh, my gosh.
We're bolstering the crew.
We can all
makes me so happy.
We can all just agree this coaching staff has no clue what to do with the running back. They don't know how to have a running back.
Hey there, Bengals fans. Tis the season for wins. Get your Jovember t-shirts from Seasoned Enterprises and show off your Bengals pride and support Joey B as he tries to lead our Bengals to the playoffs. Hoo-day, baby. We're going to move into our next segment here. We are going with Best Bengal and Bum Bengal. And I'm going to let Nick run with this one first. Who is your best Bengal?
Best Bengal, if we're talking about right now, Jamar Chase.
Boom.
Jamar Chase. You can't even argue about it.
Who's your bum of the game?
CTB.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's even Jordan Battle played better than CTB.
It's going to be the consensus, I would say.
Well, Josh, pick somebody else. Make it fun.
Okay. So my Bengal of the game is going to be Joey B. I mean, without him, the team is really nothing. I mean, yeah, a great receiver can make a decent quarterback look good. But when you have a great quarterback, he elevates the entire team. And that's what he does week after week. That's what he did on Thursday. Just he can't elevate the defense because he's not on the field with them. And my bum, honestly, I'm just going to have to go with Volson.
Yeah, he's bad.
He has been super bad this year. And, I mean, the entire offensive line, I want to give them bum of the week. But, I mean, him specifically, he's not blocking anybody. I mean, Burrow got hit, 13 times? What are you doing? And all you say is, we don't want to see him get hit like that. Well, do something about it. It's your job to stop it.
The guard play period was pathetic. Zach, what do you got for best Bengal and bum Bengal?
Oh, best. Well, outside of Jamar and Joe, I really don't know where else you can go. But to help Nick out with Jamar, 11 for 16, 264, 3 touchdowns. 8 of those 11 receptions were first downs. 7 of those 8 were 15-plus yards. 102 yak, and a 90.7 Pro Football Focus grade for the game. So kind of hard to argue that Jamar wasn't the player of the game outside of Joe. As far as bum of the game, I'm going Frank Pollock. I know that's Nick's favorite person to go after, but
Frankie P.
dude's got to go. We've said it. I've been a part of this podcast for over a year now. We've had numerous conversations in that 12-month period. It's time. It's time.
And it's trash. Choke King, trash. Well, since you guys have all done the best Bengal and there's no other way to do it, I'm going to go with the bronze medal Bengal here. I'm going to give it to Tanner Hudson. Why? Because that quarterback sneak play was pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed watching that one. He had a couple of the big catches. So did he have the best game? No. Did he have some drops? Yeah. But is he good enough to get the bronze medal? Absolutely.
You forgot one. Did he get
What?
mauled at the goal line on the 2-point conversion? Yep.
Yes. Him, Gesicki, Burrow. I mean, Jamar Chase was getting held on the back line. That's my kind of defense if I was allowed to get away with it. If I was playing defense, heck yeah. If you're going to let me just grab onto people and throw them to the ground and rip people's face mask in front of their face, I could probably be in the NFL today if that was legal because I would do all of those things. I have no shame. You got to make up for your lack of athletic ability.
And if you knew Casey, this is 100% true. He would do all of it, and if he could get away with it.
If it's not getting called, it's legal. That was my opinion. If it's not getting called, it's legal. If you don't want to get spiked at second base, don't stand on the base. Different sport, but same rule.
Casey,
Anyway.
you're like the Happy Gilmore of football.
I really should have played hockey. I was told that so many times, even in my Army career playing like intramural sports. You really should have played hockey. I'm like, I know, I'd have been a great goon. I couldn't help it that hockey is not a big thing in Northern Kentucky. But I digress. My bum of the game, Nick, it actually is your favorite player. Logan freaking Wilson. Come on, man. Intercept the ball. Don't not knock somebody out of bounds. Come on, man. You got to play.
And he gave up that one touchdown. He failed that. He blew that coverage. He thought CTB was going to catch him on the backside, and he just let the player drift, and they scored.
Yeah, don't ever think that
Never
CTB is going to pick someone up on the backside.
Never trust CTB. Ever. End of story. Done. But Logan Wilson, come on. I expect better from you. You used to play safety. You can't drop sure interceptions. You can't not pursue people. And I already went on about that a little bit, so I'm not going to kill it. But as a defense, and this is actually, Nick's going to laugh about this. You remember the 1988 Bengals video that I watched 20 million times as a kid. There's literally, I forget who they're interviewing from their defense, but he said, last year when the ball's in the air, one or two of us were going to the ball. This year, all 11 hats are going toward the football. That's what needs to happen. It is a team effort. It doesn't matter. It comes back and, gosh, I'm pontificating. Sorry. Deal with it. I'm going to do it anyway. Was it the AFC title game where Mike Hilton ran somebody down and stopped him? Yeah, he stopped right before halftime, and then Eli Apple made the play, or Jesse Bates. I can't remember who exactly tackled him, but it should have been a touchdown, and somebody didn't quit. They made it all the way down there and tackled him, and then Eli Apple made the stop right before half. That is how defense plays. And I'll jump off my soapbox now. Golly, I'm just frustrated.
Hey, speaking of Eli Apple, what's he doing right now? Can we bring him back?
You know things are bad if Zach, the Eli Apple hater, is asking where Eli Apple's at.
Hey, anything's got to be better than what we've seen so far this year.
I heard they were calling you later this week.
See, the way my back and my knees are set up, I don't know if that's going to work out.
Hey, I feel like we could play as good as CTB right now. I mean, that last or second to last touchdown, I can't remember exactly which one. He got beat on a simple double move. A simple double move. It wasn't even like a fancy. It was like he stepped in, then he turned back out to the corner. And he's like, oh, my gosh, falling over. Come on.
How can a number one corner be giving up the most yards of any corner in the entire league. I don't get that. Everyone was hyping him up this season. He is literally the worst starting corner in the whole league.
DJ Ivy. Why aren't we seeing more of him? I don't care. Put him out there. Sign
So-
any bum off the street.
Because of my location right now, I had to go watch it at, good old Sammy A's down the street. And when I thought CTB actually made a play, and there was like 5 of us left in this restaurant, I was doing laps. I was excited, super excited, and then it just the roller coaster waves of emotion just continued throughout the rest of the night because he did not pick that game off. Because if he would have picked it, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We'd be happy. We'd be 5-5 and all the other things. I'm going to kick it back to Nick because Nick was trying to say something like 5 minutes ago, and then we all pontificated. So go ahead, Nick.
I was just going to call out something positive, okay? I actually came tonight with some stats. Okay.
What? No.
First of all,
This is wrong.
Sign of the apocalypse. Sign of the apocalypse.
I started off my cheers by going along the lines of Jamar Chase stats, the important ones: 11 receptions for 264 yards and 3 touchdowns. Freaking ridiculous. But I want to say another stat. We have 6 interceptions as a team. On defense, turnovers, I don't remember forced fumbles, but I'm just going to say probably really low, like 2 or 3. Okay? When we have turnover ratios like that, we're not winning ball games.
Our turnover ratio right now is 0. I just looked it up for the preview for the Chargers game. It's 0.
Yeah, so when you have turnover ratios like that, you're not going to win ball games. The big stat that really means everything is turnover ratio. That's the only thing I cannot argue. If your turnover ratio is that bad, winning ball games is going to be really difficult. Your defense has to be effective. And then when you have your rushing game, which is pretty darn effective when we actually use it, when we run the ball 20 to 30 times a game, we're pretty effective, right? Because it balances out the passing attempts. When you have 14, 15 rushing attempts for actual legit designed running plays, that's not going to win ball games. Peyton Manning would average 20 to 25 handoffs to, what was the running back? Edgerrin James. That's the reason won the Super Bowl with Indianapolis. I mean, come on. You have to balance it out.
That is an absolutely great point. And they played that game having 56 passing plays. You'd have swore they were playing from behind. Not up 14, not up 7, like behind a lot. It's just bad.
Hey, to Nick's point about the running game, I brought more notes. And 3 of the 4 wins this year, we ran the ball 25 or more times. The Raiders, Browns, and Panthers. We won those games. 25 plus. Giants was 20 even. The rest of them, if it was below 25, we ended up losing the game some way, somehow.
I think we need to move on to the next. I think we need to move on to the next topic because we're beating a dead horse.
We will move on to that next topic. Don't you worry. The next topic, since we are all over the place, we're all thinking like, what in the heck? Would we have given the opportunity if, whatever, insert magical, mythical creature that you want to put in here, said, you know what, you can go back and have the 2021 Super Bowl end with Jamar catching that 4th down pass and scoring a touchdown and the Bengals winning the game, but you're not going to win more than 2 games a season for the next decade. You could take that, or you could be sitting where the Bengals are right now, looking down the barrel of maybe sneaking into the playoffs. But after this season, it's bleak. Very, very bleak. So we're going to go around the group. Don't make it too long, but let's hear what you got. Josh, you first.
I'm just going to say I do not want to be a Cowboys fan. Looking back at what was when their team is horrible, they suck. We like to trash the Bengals and say, they did this wrong and this wrong and this wrong. At least we're not Cowboys fans. So, no, I would not give up the right now for a Super Bowl. I'm not going to do what the Rams did because they literally bought a Super Bowl. They just brought in everybody they could to win that Super Bowl. And the Bengals are better than them right now. Their defense is better than the Rams. No. The answer is no. I'd rather try to win now, try to win every single season, and not give it up for 2021.
Zach, what do you think?
First, I want to say, Josh, you sound like a little bit like Zach Taylor.
Show your pride for Ken and Willie Anderson's Hall of Fame candidacy with our exclusive t-shirt featuring a bold design. This shirt lets you celebrate two football legends. Plus, 30% of proceeds go to the Ken Anderson Alliance and Willie Anderson Lineman Academy. Wear your support and make a difference today.
Right now that we should be better than our record says and all of that other stuff. But I don't know. I'd give a lot for a Super Bowl right about now. So that's a hard one. I think I would take the condition we are in right now because there's still hope on the other side of this than taking a 2021 Super Bowl win and then tanking the rest of the time to, quote unquote, as Josh said, buy a Super Bowl as the Rams did that year. So I'm going to go, we have hope. There's hope there.
Yeah, what do you got?
I've been contemplating this thought, Casey, ever since you sent out the idea. And I have been a Bengals fan I'm 35, so knowingly 30 years. I don't know. It's a really hard, I've been there. I've seen the Bengals just tank and just be terrible for, 26 of those years. So, I mean, I've been there. So, I know I can weather that. At least if they would have won a Super Bowl, maybe I could be like, oh, hey, maybe next year. We've already won the Super Bowl. What are we worried about? So I'm kind of mix it up. I'd rather have that Super Bowl.
Boom. Thank you. Somebody talking reason. Because you know what? If we were about 5 to 6 years older, the Reds are hot garbage. They've been hot garbage our entire lives. When we are 5 or 6 years older, you listen to guys like Mo Egger, you listen to other people like that. What do they say? 1990 was awesome. It was fantastic. We loved that season. We got to see a World Series. Yeah, the Reds suck. The Reds suck most of the time. But you know who else sucks? The Bengals. For most of our lives, this organization can't find a way to win, and they are back. And that's why maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm off my rocker, and they're going to be fine. I've seen this story before. I've watched this too many times. Oh, we'll be back next year. 1996 was the first time I thought that. They won, 7 of their last 8 games. They'll be better next year. They weren't. 05, they're going to be better next year. They weren't. 2015, this fluke, they'll be better next year. They weren't. We are on the edge of another sucky 5 to 6 years because they didn't draft anybody. Look at who's going to be playing starters next year. CTB will be a starter. Dax Hill's going to be back and be a starter. Most of your offensive line will have to be starters because you don't have money to sign better players. But you know who's not going to be here? T. Higgins. You know who's going to be begging to get out of here? Trey Hendrickson. Who in the heck, you guys don't, and Jamar Chase is going to break your absolute bank. It's not going to get better. Give me 2021 and a Super Bowl, and I will watch Australian League Baseball. Or heck, I might even watch hockey more. I'll get into something. I just want a freaking Super Bowl. So that way all of the angst. Go ahead, Nick. What do you got?
If we would have won the Super Bowl, I might turn into an FC Cincinnati fan. Who knows? And for the first time in my life, actually enjoy soccer for whatever reason. Soccer
But that
interferes
one
with football.
Super-
That's the reason why I don't like it.
That one Super Bowl gets the monkey off your back, gets every other fan base to have to give you some respect. It does. Look at what happened to the Rams. Well, not this Rams, but like the 2003 Rams or 99 Rams.
With Kurt
The
Warner.
first time they won the Super Bowl, everybody used to make fun of the Rams like they do the Bengals. And then they won a Super Bowl, and now they're a classy franchise. It changes. Well, but people say that like, oh, Kurt Warner, they have 2 Super Bowls, and they were a good team and all this stuff. Between Stafford and Warner, 2 Super Bowls. So they have 2 titles. But yeah.
It's 2 different cities.
Yeah, 2 different cities, but that makes a difference. It does. You're no longer a laughing stock. Philadelphia, when they finally won a Super Bowl, they became like less of a laughing stock. It just changes it. Now, if you're a Cowboys, everybody makes fun of you because you were a-holes for, 15 years there.
Jerry Jones. That's the reason why people make fun of you. Just Jerry Jones.
But I like that we're split there. We had a lot of difference of opinions, but, we're all here. And I hope the Bengals prove me wrong. I know Nick hopes that the Bengals will prove him wrong, and that ends up being a bad bet. But so far, it looks like it's a pretty good bet. Look at taking that deal. We'll just have to see how it all pans out.
Take your career to new heights with Constructive Curiosity. Whether it's career coaching, mental performance training, or business management consulting, Constructive Curiosity has the insight to get it right. Visit constructivecuriosity.com to get started today.
It's going to start this next weekend as we go into play the Chargers Sunday night. We've already lost the battle of the uniforms. We did. It's over. Those orange pants, the orange pants and black jersey were okay. Orange pants, white jersey, orange helmet. Why didn't he do all whites? Why? Zach, explain to me why they didn't do all whites when we're going against the powder blue.
Don't ask me. I'm not. I mean, I know I'm the most fashionable person on this podcast
You are.
and has ever been on this podcast. As he's wearing our Joe Vimber shirt, I will give you credit there. However, it doesn't make sense. There's a lot of bad juju on those orange pants for this season. So maybe we got a new juju going coming Sunday night. So I'm just concerned about the fact that we play the last game of Sunday, so the whole world is going to be watching again.
Yeah, that'll be bad. But Nick, what's your preview look like?
I'm taking defense on this, and I'm looking at stats here again. Woo, world's burning down.
Crazy.
I'm looking at stats.
World's ending. It's over, folks.
We are the eighth worst defense in the league, giving up just shy of 3,500 yards so far this season.
Oh my gosh.
3,500 total yards. Teams like the Jaguars, the Bucks, the Panthers, the Colts, the Saints, and lo and behold, the Ravens are up there. I guess which 2 games kind of pushed them over the edge, and then the Falcons. So let's look at this one instance. All right, you take the 2 games against the Bengals. The Ravens are maybe the bottom 15 on that, not the top 6. And you put the Bengals up around number 5 because the Bengals defense is like shooting a water hose through a freaking chain link fence. It's not stopping anything. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. We have guys that can perform that just, I don't know, are they deciding not to because they want to get paid? Like, hey, maybe if you want to get paid, maybe you can go out there and perform and actually earn a darn paycheck. CTB needs to get his head out of his butt, come out and play football. Logan Wilson, love the man to death, obviously, man crush. But the man needs to get his juju, his freaking mojo back. He needs to get his mojo back. And Osai, I'll be honest with you. I was pleasantly surprised with the way Osai played. He had a few pressures, Thursday, and I wasn't expecting that, to be quite honest. I mean, but Logan Wilson with the lack of tackling, CTB with his ridiculous coverages. It looks like a bunch of elementary school kids playing against a bunch of professionals.
Yeah.
So keys to this game defensively, get your head out of your butt.
I like it. Short, sweet, to the point. And from the defense, we're going to move into Zach with the offense.
Well, I'm going to go averages per game for the entire year so far, both sides of the ball. Right now, this offense is scoring about 27 points a game. The Chargers are scoring 20.7 a game. We are averaging 344.5 a game. They're averaging 314 a game. Rushing and passing plays per game, we're about 63-37% wise, and they're about 50-50. There's a couple point margin there in between theirs. Yardage per play, 5.7. So we have the key there. They're 5.3. The rushing yards we're 4.0 rushing yards per play. Passing yards, they actually have the edge on us, which is kind of surprising since we have the number one passing quarterback in yardage and wide receiver in yardage. Third down conversions, we're a much better team on third down conversion, and as well as in the red zone. We're at 72%, they're at 54%. So there's a lot of positives offensively for us on this side of the game. It just needs to be consistent. Play like you did Thursday. Let Nick's defense do what it needs to do, and we should win this game.
Like it, and Josh made a special request to take the coaching, so I'm going to take the special teams. So, special teams, make them punt more, make us punt less. That's basic John Madden style football for everybody there. What we really need to do is Rico's not the problem. He's doing a great job every time he punts. It's great. He's pinning them back deep. He's doing what he needs to do. I can't complain there. The punt return game with Trenton Irwin, he's just trying not to die. Good on you, Trenton Irwin. I mean, he literally looks panicked as soon as he catches the ball. So just continue not to die. Maybe fair catch it. That'd be good. The kickoff return game without Charlie Jones, just take a knee. It looked really bad last week. There was nothing impressive about it. So just take a knee. And the one that we all want to talk about is Evan McPherson still alive? He's become the new Chris Evans. Do we even know if he's there? Because he sure as heck ain't kicking field goals. 51-yarder, 2 opportunities for like a 51 to 54-yarder, and you have zero faith in your kicker to give you points. That is a 6-point swing that wins you that ball game. It does. It absolutely wins you that ball. Even if you make one of those kicks, it wins you the ball game. So the fact that you don't have any faith in your guy, who the reason you paid him the money you paid him is because he makes 50-plus yard field goals, why is he still here? I'm sorry. If he's a liability, you can pay or get anybody in the NFL that can make it inside 50. That's what everybody gets there. You're not an NFL kicker if you can't kick it within 50. So if he can't make it beyond 50, maybe it's time to find a new kicker. I know that's harsh and critical, but this is how many games this year that he either missed a kick or they didn't kick it. I'm critical of him. Yeah,
I mean, I'm just saying, every time I hear Rico's last name, I always think of Uncle Rico, and I throw a ball over that mountain over there.
Rico kick a ball over that mountain. Should he be placed kicking? Could he kick one from 80 yards? We don't know. Maybe.
He has a leg for it. Why not?
Why not? Who cares? Let's at least make it interesting. At least he could hit people in the stands hard enough to knock somebody out. And then they would never want him to kick again. It'd be awesome. We don't want him to kill anybody, but just knock them out real quick. Knock a beer out of their hand, like pull a Rookie of the Year, knock some teeth out. That'd be fun.
I mean, it would be interesting at least.
Sorry, regress. That's Angels in the Outfield where he knocked his teeth out, not Rookie of the Year. My bad. Got to correct myself there. We keep it honest on this show. Josh, get us in with the coaching.
So with the coaching, bringing defensive coaching mainly. Lou Anarumo. Quit with the stupid soft zones. Go man to man. We complain about this every single week. You give them too much space, they're going to pick up 10 yards every single time they throw the ball. You're going to leave somebody on an island, and we've proven that nobody on this team on the defensive side can cover by themselves. They need help. Cam Taylor-Britt, he might get an interception. He almost had two. But when it comes to actually covering, he can't do it. You have to come up with something exotic. You are the guy that's supposed to be the defensive mastermind. Even though when the Bengals hired him, nobody knew why they hired him. He didn't have a track record. He had no background in actually being good at his job in the first year we had him. Defense was horrible. And then when he had some good players, you know what? He was able to do something. Maybe that's what he is. He has to have good players. I mean, name me 3 players on defense from the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know if any of us could. Maybe 1, possibly 2. They have one of the best defenses in the league because they have a good defensive coordinator. They have good schemes. We don't have good schemes. We just rely on people to make plays. Not the team that can make plays right now. Offensively, you know what? The offense is freaking cooking. You got to give Zach credit for that. Most of the time, granted, crunch time, he makes some very bad choices. Sometimes in crunch time. This past week, it was actually really good.
Speaking of Zach, the decision to go for 2, 100% got his back every single time.
Word.
You're at the Ravens on the road. They just scored like 4 or 5 times in a row on your defense. Literally just ran your defense in the ground. Made you look stupid. Why would you not go for 2? Go for the win right there.
Especially when you're going to give Lamar the ball back with time on the clock.
I love the aggression. The aggression was what I wanted to see. That's what this team has been lacking. Aggression. Every single time they went for it on 4th down, I told my wife, I was like, yes. I stopped myself from saying the word I actually said, but I said, yes, go for it. You have a losing record. You're going nowhere. What are you not doing? Going for it. You're not being aggressive. So now is time to be aggressive. Go for it. Now, yes, if they could trust Evan, who is the 30th ranked kicker in the entire league in field goal percentage, he is almost last. There's only 2 people in the league worse than him. That's horrible. So we cannot trust him. And if we can't trust him, why is he on the team? That makes us feel one-dimensional. 4th down comes, 50 yards plus, got to go for it. Doesn't matter what's going. You got to either go for it or kick it off. That kind of hamstrings the offense. I hate it.
I have a thought here, and this sounded crazy initially, and I was just saying it to be spiteful. But this might actually make sense. And you all just tell me how crazy I am when I say this. Why not 0 blitz at least every other play? Because they're getting burned anyway. They can't stop anyone. At least if you 0 blitz, maybe you could get a sack. Maybe you force the quarterback to make a bad decision. And if you get burned on a slant, you're getting burned on posts. You're getting burned on outs. You're getting burned on dig routes. Giving up massive plays no matter what. So why not at least 0 blitz and make it interesting for the rest of us? You're just throwing all your chips in at once. What do you guys think?
Especially people like Lamar Jackson. You can rattle him with a 0. He's not a pocket quarterback. He is a guy that needs to get out in space. Why not just go for it?
I mean, I agree. I don't know about the frequency of what you're talking about. Kind of mix it up, but like a big down when they're backed up on their goal line and it's 2nd and long. Why not? Why not go to try to get a safety?
That happened Didn't that happen in week 1 or the first time we played them?
Maybe. Yeah.
There was just one guy making a play. That was kind of luck. That there was no zero. That was just Hubbard got behind the ball.
But my point is that we pressured him, and it caused him to get a safety.
So, but we'd be no worse off. I know every other play is a little ridiculous, and you're going to gas your team and all that other fun stuff. But would we be any worse off if we did that? I don't think we could be. There's no way we're worse off. He could fumble. They could throw it away. Yeah, they could get a quick slant for a touchdown. But this defense, like Nick said, can't stop water if you're a freaking chain link fence. That's what it is. Going through there. So what the heck does it matter if you actually end up just blitzing all the time, zero blitz? You're going all or nothing. What was, I'm trying to think, what sport did we do that in the backyard? Just Hail Mary every play. You didn't even care. Backyard football. Just Hail Mary it. We're going to get anything else? Nope, just Hail Mary. Just chuck it long. That's the only game play we got, and that's all we did. Why not? Go for it all at once.
PE class.
Yep,
You know what?
ultimate frisbee.
There we go.
Ultimate frisbee.
It's been a
That
while.
was the game. That was the game.
The ultimate frisbee, that's all we do. Chuck it long. But
Guess what? You just proved that advertising on podcasts works. Reach thousands of local listeners each week and grow your business. Reach out to Talkin Bengals today to find out more by emailing talkinbengals@gmail.com.
we're into our prediction time now. And I'll go first on this one just because why not? We're going to switch it up. Maybe it'll bring us some luck. It's going to be a close game. I don't think this one's going to be a blowout either way. If it is, once again, please don't place any money based on anything I say because I was so wrong last week. It wasn't funny. I'm probably going to be really wrong this week, but I think it's going to end up coming down to the wire. And I'm going to have to go with Bengals 24, Chargers 20. Josh, what do you got?
I really can't argue with what you got to say. I mean, even though it's Jovember, this team is not past Bengals teams, so I don't know how they can really get past this team. I mean, I hate to say it, but I don't feel good about it. I see them losing also. It's probably going to be a mid-scoring game. I mean,
What's the score?
It's going to be 26 to 26-20. Them bad guys.
Ooh. Nick, what do you got?
I don't think it's going to be such a low-scoring game. I think that you guys are completely wrong. And I think that 35-32 Bengals is going to be the score. And Money Mac is going to come out and hit the game winner.
Man, I hope you're right. Zach, what do you
I got
got?
to be positive this week because being negative didn't get me anywhere.
It almost this close to getting it.
I
don't know.
hate being negative.
I'm trying to figure out your math here for 32. Like I get one team getting to
It's got to be a
32,
safety.
but both teams getting to 32.
Who knows? They could all go for 2 on everything until the final field goal. You know, who knows?
The math
You're-
doesn't math, is all I'm saying.
Casey, 8
Yeah.
times 4.
I know, but they're not going to do that. This is a peewee.
I'm just saying, why not?
This isn't college football double overtime rules, dude. Like, what are we talking about right now?
Hey, crazier things have happened. Crazier things have happened.
100% fire,
That is
50% if we're going for 2 every play.
Hey, I like Vicky Valancourt, okay?
Okay. Based on scoring averages for the last 10 weeks for both teams, as I stated earlier, it's the Bengals have averaged 27 a game, and they've averaged 20. So I'm going to go 27-20 Houday.
And for the
Stats.
Talking Bengals challenge question, don't worry, we didn't forget about it. But the Bengals have been so unpredictable. It's been really up and down. It's hard to figure out what the right question is going to be. So I am making this easy. Somebody has to win. You can't not win on this one. If you are the 20th person to comment on our Facebook post, you get a free shirt. Just comment on there, hey, go Bengals, or hooday, or you guys suck. We don't care what you put in the comment. Just be the 20th person to comment, and you get a free shirt courtesy of Talkin Bengals. Probably that awesome Joe Vember shirt. Show that one off again, Josh. It's awesome. If you haven't seen it, it's great. 'Tis the season for wins. We may have to make it Joe Sember because November only has one more game left. We'll see how it goes. But it's an awesome shirt. Be the 20th person to comment, and you win a shirt. It's so simple, a caveman could do it. It's that easy. Geico, don't add us. Or actually, you should add us. You can be a sponsor. But we'll take what we can get.
Podium Automotive is a proud sponsor of Talkin Bengals. In Greater Cincinnati, it's Podium Automotive for all your auto needs. Skilled technicians, quality service you can trust, and fair price. Schedule your appointment today on Facebook at Podium Automotive or call 859-869-0097. That's 859-869-0097.
Closing thoughts. Nick, what are your closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. Defense has to pull their head out of their butt so we can win a ball game. Offense, just keep on keeping on, like Joe Diatir said. And, life's a garden, dig it.
Josh?
I hope big time that I'm wrong. Me and Casey, I just hope that we are way out of bounds and the Bengals are going to come out and destroy them. I mean, crazier things have happened. I just want to see a good freaking game from the Bengals, start to finish, offense and defense. And we all know there's not a team in this league that if the Bengals get to the playoffs, they want to go against them. Because you never know what's going to happen with this Bengals team. They could be the best team in the entire league, or they could be the worst. You never know. And you don't want to be the team that finds that out. So just go out there and ball out.
Zach, plug the socials and let us know.
As always, follow us on whatever platform you're not currently following us. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a follow subscription t-shirt challenge for you guys. Go to one of our social media platforms and at Talkin _Bengals. Okay. And follow us or subscribe, whatever the platform tells you to do for us. Please do that. So that way we can maybe potentially do this live or maybe even give a couple t-shirts away because we just want to help you get free stuff. My closing thoughts outside of the socials, and it's more of a question for the three of you, and I've already posed it before, but do you all feel that Joe Burrow was doing too much on Sunday or on Thursday, excuse me?
I'll let you guys answer before me.
Yes, absolutely.
Josh?
I feel like he felt like he had to be Superman because the offensive line gave him no time. The running game was actually effective, but I think he's trying to make up for the coaching abandoning the run too freaking early.
Nicholas?
I have to agree with Josh. I think we abandoned the run so darn early that Joe Burrow was pressured into trying to make too many things work without having the option to go back to the run because they weren't giving it to him. I think Joe Burrow just needs to, at some point, just say, screw it. I'm calling what I know is going to work. If they're not going to call it, I'm calling it. I'm going to be a leader and take responsibility.
You guys hit exactly everything that I wrote down because going back to the third and fourth down, third and two, fourth and two, feel like he forced the ball down the field on the go routes. when if he would have just sat in the pocket just a hair longer like he did the entire rest of the game, he would have found Yoshi or Jamar open down the field, and we could have continued those drives. And then the last thing I said, you're not going to get help from the sideline. Trust Uno. Jamar has been your best friend for the last, how many years? 7 years? What was it, 2019? Trust him. He's there to bail you out. He's got your back no matter what. When all else fails, trust in Uno. Second, final, last thought that I have. Bengals front office. Yesterday's price is not today's price. And it just keeps going up, baby. You should have paid him in the offseason, and you just screwed us probably for the next 50 years.
And Zach is putting the finishing touches on one of those awesome shirts we're getting ready to drop probably before the next game on Sunday. He's just got to church it up because my style is not his style. And he is the fashionista here on Talkin Bengals, where I'm just the guy who has ideas and he makes them better. So that's where we're at. But we didn't talk about Xavier Howard. I mean, I'll put that out there. That was not a topic we decided to go into. Why? Because we're ticked off. That's why. After the draft, we said we needed to have a veteran corner. In training camp, hey, man, this team probably needs a veteran corner. Dax Hill gets hurt. We probably need to bring in a veteran corner. Week 12 or week 10, November 12th, really? That's when you decide to bring in a veteran corner, and then you can't even get him to stick around? This front office is inept, and that makes me go back to what I brought up earlier with the Super Bowl question. I don't have faith in this front office. You couldn't even sign a guy who's eating Cheetos on his couch to come play football for you. When you are in desperate need of anyone who knows roughly how to play the cornerback position. So I know that's a negative place to leave us. So on a positive note, the schedule is winnable. Every game we should have a chance to win. There's nobody that's going to blow us out the rest of the year unless we let them. Because, there's no one on paper that you're like, wow, this is a so much better team than the Bengals. So it's up to this team. But in other years where it was why not us, or, it is us, or they got to play us, or any kind of other us, now this year it's, that's their motto this year, because they don't give a crap. This team is unmotivated other than a few players.
I just thought of a new shirt.
Nick first, then Zach.
I was going to say, because you just brought something up, I was watching someone say this. The Bengals, if the defense figure out how to do their job, there's not a single team in this league that wants to play the Bengals. Because of how hot Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and our offense is. Not a single freaking team is going to want to play the Bengals if the defense figures themselves out. I'm trying to stay PG or G rated. I don't want to get curse words in there. But come on. Help a brother out, man. Like, you're a team. Figure it out. Work as a team. Let's get it done.
Honestly, it's because they know that they have to be perfect because the Bengals offense is rolling.
Zach,
White's
let's do this
work.
other shirt idea.
Well, you said they got to play us. Why not us? Whatever. And then you went, So I think our shirt idea is just,
Is it going to be Zach Taylor on the shirt like,
That's hilarious.
The second thing, to quote the great movie of Jerry Maguire, help me help you.
Show me the money.
That's going to do it here. That's the next Jamar Chase shirt after this one to show me the money in the offseason. But that's going to wrap us up here tonight on Talking Bengals. Like Zach already plugged all the socials. Go out there, be number 20, get a free shirt. We'll give it away to you. We're literally trying to put a shirt on your back. Let us do it for you. And hooday.
Hooday.
Yay.
Show your Bengals and Northern Kentucky pride. Get the Talkin Bengals Y'all shirt now. Order today exclusively at talkinbengals.com.